Okay, so we're live, Ashley, and we're going to be taking a look at Ashley's Pluto in Scorpio in the ninth, very close to the midheaven. All right, so Ashley, just before we started recording, you said that Pluto has had a wrecking ball effect more than anything, which tells me you have something in mind already. So, what is that?
Multiple things. It's the theme of death, rebirth. I'm just wondering how. I'm thinking about the wording. Oh, okay, I'll put it this way. There has been times in my life that I have not wanted to be here and attempted to take myself out of here. Catch my drift, right? And from a very young age, like 9 years old, 15 years old, and it was always like an undercurrent theme when I was a child, like really, really heavy, lots of childhood trauma. I had a son that passed away when I was 15. These themes of death and rebirth have been very, very pivotal. Now, somebody I feel with Pluto has lived many lives and chapters in one life. And when I say I'm the complete polar opposite to now, I help people through spirituality, mentorship, spiritual therapy. I help them through these deeper, darker taboo things and themes. And I have heard every iteration of the darkest taboo subjects that a person can go through. But I also have the capacity to hold that space. But I have been there, I have walked on the edge, and I'm very comfortable there. But it's the light is where I am now, but it has taken my life to get me here.
Okay. I'm hearing especially the sun, Pluto, right? That's been a central feature of your life since you know yourself. In fact, there's been a passing of a child even, so
Mhm.
that you have to go through these periods where you lose a lot and there's tremendous grief and pressure. There I feel the sun, Pluto,
Yeah.
that it's been central for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you at with that now? Are you in a kind of rebirth at the moment?
I feel it's taken me a good 15 years of healing, therapy, personal development, you know, training to be a therapist in different modalities. All of these have built me up. And now it's on the other side of helping other people who have those issues. But I'm always growing and evolving, and there's always something else that takes my fancy, so to speak. And, I'm going to be doing a lot more online, but I am the happiest person I know. Like, I am so carefree, so happy, lighthearted. I like to have fun with my students and classes. Everybody that knows that about me, when I speak to people who knew me in school, I was so quiet, so introverted, so traumatized. They don't believe it's the same person. They can't believe it.
Hmm. Okay, so what made the big difference? What got you from there to here?
Another death theme. Another death theme. Okay. I have been through a lot of domestic violence, like extreme, and for years, relentless, very domineering partners. That dynamic since I was 15, 7 year relationship, 5 year relationship, these long term relationships. And because there was no self worth, no self esteem, didn't think I deserved any better. Do you know? Okay. Now I know myself well, and the standards are high, but back then, and the pivotal thing for me was it's just an extreme story. An ex partner kidnapped me, attempted to take my life in quite a harsh way. I'll put it that way. And in those moments, now I must have been about 20, 25, 26, 27. I can't really remember. But, actually, 2008. Oh, no, that was the court case. Anyway, never mind the finer details. In those moments, I had guidance that told me what to do. Now, in the moments of struggle, I was thinking, panic, run, go, where's the exit? What can I lift? Panic, panic, panic. But a voice of guidance came, and it wasn't one voice. I honestly feel it was angelic. It sounded like a collective voice, and it whispered in the ear, and it said, tell him you love him. Tell him you'll not say anything. Tell him you'll stay with him. And I was like panicking, like activated, and it said, no, say this, like step by step. And I, the small mind, actually me, reactive, I wanted to fight and struggle and panic and that. But this voice, so I decided to follow that voice. And eventually I fell asleep, this person fell asleep, and I was able to get out. I have no doubt that I would not be here if I didn't follow that guidance, because I know I was going to do the opposite. And it's interesting to me because I think the choices that I made, I shouldn't be here. I knew this person was capable of creating that act. He was a soldier, and he told me how many people he had taken out of this realm. Okay. I knew he was dangerous, but I still chose to stay. So I shouldn't be here. But that voice, that guidance, that collective whispering voice, I followed that. And that's what opened my mind to spirituality, because to be honest, just survival mode my whole life. Like, I didn't have spiritual awareness. I was living on absolute panic mode. And that opened a door for me to want to explore spirituality. So yeah, dramatic.
Hmm. So going to all of the worst places that most of us only kind of hear about, but don't really have a clue, and you were in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. That makes me think also, like in those relationships with your partners, the abusive partners, that you were also witnessing something that is not individual.
In what respect?
That the trauma they carry is just like it's all of the kind of stuff that is unaddressed in the collective in general, and you
Yeah.
just have like the worst, most extreme example of it, and you get to see it all day long. The byproduct of how the collective has lived and socialized till now.
Yeah. The way I would describe, and I mean years, I mean years, every day in, day out, is just heaviness, heavy, thick, no joy, no upliftment, no carefree, every day a struggle, every day an argument, every day being oppressed, every day. Even when I was a child, my mother is rapid cycle bipolar. Dad was not in the household when since I was 3. And every day dealing with me witnessing mental illness, domineering personality, narcissistic tendencies, every single day. Can't get away from it. Living within the household of that. Moving from 15, the moment I met a partner, out of that household into the same dynamic. Moving from that relationship into the same dynamic every single day. Just heavy, just a struggle, just like I'm like, just peace out. When does this trauma end? It seemed never ending every day.
Hmm.
Heavy, heavy.
So do you see the Sun Pluto conjunction in that, right? The sun being what happens during the day, what you live.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes me think especially about the Scorpio, like the very deep emotional stuff people have going on that you just get to bear witness to the worst of it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which again is very similar to the work you continue to do, because if you end up studying all of the different psychological therapies or approaches that there are, it's again working with the psyche, working with people's emotional bodies that are so deep and complex.
Yeah. And the absolute can't even describe it. It's like more than words. The absolute joy of the work that I do. Some of my students have sat with me for years, and I mean literally years. So, I run a weekly class in person and online, and it's not just teaching them spiritual themes and concepts, healing, intuitive practices, mediumship. I teach mediumship, okay? What I have watched is women begin to believe in themselves, okay? To grow in power, to grow in strength. And then from there, make different choices, more empowered choices. And what I mean by that is I've had women who have been in the situation I'm in, was in, and they grew in strength. I had a lady that couldn't even come to my class. She was that fearful. She couldn't even make it through the door. She was crying at the door and had to go home. And I spoke to her. She just thought she just didn't make it. And I spoke to her and I encouraged her to come the next week. Now, this particular lady grew so much in that span of time. She was in a very domineering, abusive relationship that as she grew in power and strength and belief in herself, she chose to move out and get her own place, get her own house, break up her family, and make that choice. I have watched other people, because this wasn't just in my personal relationships, this was also in the workplace. I always seem to find the domineering, dictator like boss who would just want to belittle and seem to take pleasure in putting you down, right? So that was the thing for years as well. Always feeling trapped, stuck, confined, constrained. I had another lady who was getting dominated in the workplace. She then chose to speak up for herself, didn't have a voice, couldn't speak, couldn't get it out. And she then moved jobs. She got another job. And I'm able to witness people make more empowered changes who were stuck like I was. And that to me, it means more than money or classes or words. It's like, wow, I feel like I've been a part of their journey to help them believe in themselves. They did the work, but I was a guide along the way, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, okay, I'm feeling the Sun Pluto so much. The Sun being the witness, right? And Pluto being the people who start out incredibly small and suppressed and powerless, but go through the process of finding themselves, picking up the pieces, and like making a very different choice. So there I feel the Sun Pluto like walking people through the darkness. And but you know that you do this in groups, and that you're kind of involved with that communally also as a teacher. Therefore I see the square to Jupiter in Aquarius, because Aquarius is working like publicly, socially, with people, interactively with students in a group setting. Makes me
Mhm.
think about how you are doing like the groups, right? The classes, you have students, but what you guys work on is so deep, right?
Yeah.
Mediumship,
Mhm.
psychology. Are you still doing this work like
Yeah.
actively?
Yeah. Currently.
Oh,
I've never stopped. It's been years in the making, run workshops, retreats. But I also work at something like a new offering, because I have all the therapy training. People kept asking me, like other therapists would say to me, or like Reiki practitioners, have you some sort of a session, like a mentoring or a check-in session. So through multiple people asking me, that's like a new service, but that's one-on-one. And again, I just had a lady last week, and she said to me, she said she admitted something, and she went, it was extreme. And I'm not going to share what it is, because it was about a family member. It's like, I feel so guilty for thinking that thought. I feel so guilty. And I said, did you tell your husband? And she said, no, I couldn't tell my husband. And she said, I've never told anybody this. So again, there's these things that I'm hearing that are so,
mhm.
do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I could never tell anybody this. This is
Yes, and you bring it.
extreme.
I love that. Very
Mm.
good. Sun Pluto, right? Witnessing the people's darkness, people, the thing they're hiding from everyone else. It's so secret, right?
Yeah. And me and my Scorpionic Pluto, I've loads of in Scorpio. I just like honored honored. I'm not a therapist that's like, oh, or thinking it and my face is like, I'm like, wow, what an honor that you have trusted me to tell me this. And we can work with this. We can alchemize this. I can help you see a way out. Honored. That's how I feel.
Um, there's a few things coming up for me because that's happening in the ninth house for you, at least in the Placidus house system I'm using now.
Hmm.
And one of the, so first of all, one of the things that comes to mind is you said that you have loads of training. Can you help me understand that? Just like illustrate what are the different steps or kind of certifications you've gone through? What
Yeah.
was your journey like becoming educated in this?
So I'll just start whipping them out. I'll probably miss loads, right? So I have a qualification in counseling. I have a qualification in hypnotherapy. I qualified in there's social work and social care. Okay, because again, I also have worked for a long time alongside working with children. So I had to have the safeguard training to look out for abuse. Okay, so I have that training. Just so many different healing modalities, Rahani healing, Reiki healing. At the Arthur Findlay College, for anybody that doesn't know, there's a college in England and it's like Hogwarts, okay? So it's called the Arthur Findlay College of Scientific and Intuitive Studies. So you can go over there and you literally take boarding school. So you can attend, and I would attend for weeks at a time because that extremism in me, I want, and you're working from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, like every day. And I've attended weeks and weeks at a time and literally sat in circles. Okay. So to do the intuitive work, coming from somebody who I will be honest that I feel I didn't have natural ability. It had to be drawn out of me and nourished. But I knew with every bit of that work that I was doing and every bit of meditation, it was building me. It was like the long game. So I meditate for an hour a day every single day. That's my sacred time. And I sat in circles for 7 years solid. And I mean, week in, week out, giving people free readings. So it's extensive, but it's almost like to me, it's a rudimentary way of saying it, but it's like putting money in the bank. It banks after a certain amount of time. You're like, wow, okay, I can do this with flow. I've got to the point now where not only I can do this and run events and retreats and workshops, people are coming to me. They're seeking me out for different things, for mentorship. Why don't you run this class? And do you know what I mean? It got to that point of overflow. It's like that extra drop in the chalice just went, okay, but for me, it was a very long term investment, and I was willing to do the slow work. I'm a Capricorn rising, and it was all about Big Daddy Saturn. And I was like, you put the work in. So all of that has got me, and of course, meditation has completely changed me from the inside out. So many even studied the somatic nervous system regulation. I'm forgetting loads, but I'm always into learning new things. That is a love and a joy of my personal development events regularly. Yeah, I don't know what our life I have aside from this, but here we are.
Okay, right. So there I feel the Sun, Pluto in the ninth. Also the subjects. All the subjects that you're studying for me were Scorpio, all the things that you're working with, even with kids, right? The people who have been abused, people who are going through huge transformations. Right. So understanding like psychology
Yeah,
also. And then
yeah.
I feel how because you brought up the point about, well, you're at the point where you're just like overflowing. There's so many events that you're putting together and people that are coming to you, and you start to be recognized in the community. So there I feel the Jupiter and Aquarius coming again, right? Because
Mm,
Aquarius is all the people, the public. So being involved more socially, working with lots of groups of people in different arrangements over the course of your career.
yeah.
Um, but then, the other part that, I would be remiss not to mention is the Mercury-Saturn conjunction at 27 degrees both. Right, where you said
Mm,
that for you was like a very long-term investment. You have the love of studying, and it doesn't come that naturally for you. It had to be drawn out of you, but you did the work that was necessary, and you did lots and lots of free readings, and like it was a long time for you to develop that, and you were okay with that. There, I feel the Mercury-Saturn conjunction very much.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. What about How do you is you are you really, because you said that, for example, you were working to the extremes like 9 to 9. That made me think
Mhm.
about the sun Pluto pretty much, that you're so like, do you have are you very work oriented?
Yeah.
Is that where most of your attention and your kind of time and your life goes towards?
Yeah. So let me share this bit because I would then once a year at the start of the year, I'll give myself a reading, a channeling. So I'll sit very passively and I'll channel like divine guidance. And as it comes in, it'll be, and it might sound strange, but like a different tone of voice. Maybe sound more like a male voice, female, it doesn't matter. It's not mine. And it'll give me guidance. It might give me a date, say, I can't remember. It was something along the lines of, you would obviously know. It was when Pluto was going into Aquarius. I think it was like the 23rd of October, 2023. Like it was like pinpoint, right? And I thought, okay, what's this? This will be a pivotal point for you, or a point of interest. So I looked it up and it was like Pluto moving into Aquarius. And I was like, what's that? What does that mean? Had no awareness of astrology, no interest. Down that rabbit hole I went, and I have studied astrology every single day since then. And when I
Mhm.
mean every day, I mean for hours a day. I'll watch every YouTube video, I'll look things up. My chart has been dissected and spliced together, and every little individual nuance and the Dickens and the degree, do you know what I mean? Like even today, every day, I'll put on some YouTube content of astrology and I'll notice it. I'll give you this quick one because I know the way that you work is look at it in your everyday life, right? That's how you do it differently. So I'll give you this. So Leo going into Jupiter, okay? And look, I use whole sign because I love it and it's easy, whatever. We're each to your own. But in that system, it's moving into my 10th house through derivative houses. And in the past 2 weeks, I mean, literally, it has to be at least seven or eight people have said to me. Now, in the past year, I've lost a lot of weight. I've been at the gym. I've been really working out quite hard, looking after myself. Don't drink alcohol anymore. So there's these people that kind of know me but haven't seen me in a while. And I went to a big party the other night, and in the past 2 weeks, literally seven or eight people, separate people, have said, "You're shining, you're glowing. What are you doing differently? You look amazing." And I'm like, oh, Jupiter going into Leo, public persona, public perception. It's literally finding me, and I'm like, yeah, this is really funny. Yeah, interesting.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling the Sun Pluto 9, although the Mercury Saturn is also so strong in what you describe, where you say that you went very into the minutia with astrology, to the point where it was like several hours per day reading and anything you could find or watching, and
Every
again
day.
still putting videos on in the background, so still studying hard and trying to like incorporate all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Do you have kids?
I have one daughter. She's 23.
Oh, okay, so she's already also grown out.
Yes, yes. She lives
Where
she lives abroad.
she lives abroad.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Do you and her talk?
Yeah, yeah. Very good relationship. She's so mature and grown, and I'm so proud of her. She's a more responsible person than I am. She's got it together. She's amazing.
Uh-huh. Did she go with you through some of that stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
There's no way she couldn't have. She's within a household. I want to respect her privacy, but her dad was a part of that. Of course, she's going to have witnessed some things.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and the others.
What do you do outside of work? Do you have like other hobbies, or is it all pretty much connected to like the big mission?
Well, I'm very fun and carefree. Like I go dancing. I go to karaoke. I'm very, very close with my friendship groups. Some of my students, I've known them for years. They're the best people I know. I'm out maybe 3 times a week at least. It'll be the cinema, it'll be dancing, it'll be ecstatic dance, nervous system regulation workshops. Most of the time there's a spiritual aspect or bettering your life, personal development, event, because that's what I love to do. I'm not thinking, I'm not out getting smashed drinking and feeling bad for days. I'm doing things that are fun, uplifting, and bettering me. I'm like hitting every metric. So yeah,
Okay, so a lot of social events, like you do things
loads,
together with people.
loads. Yeah,
Okay. Do you feel your Jupiter and Aquarius in that?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I get loads of messages through people. They've maybe not maybe they haven't been to a class. Maybe they've been a watcher for years and they'll say things like, um, you know, they'll oh goodness, sorry, I'm pressing buttons. Maybe they'll say things like, I've watched your content for years. I wanted to let you know that you've really helped me, or that video you made, because I create content as well, like quite regularly. That really helped me. And to me it is that's the bigger mission. I want my experience, or my even the experience of the astrology, to help other people. It's like my journey. Let me alchemize and figure out how I feel about that, and then for the collective. So people contact me and send me these messages, and again, all very welcome. Love it.
Okay, so you see the Sun Pluto, right, in the ninth near the midheaven, that you go and transmute all these things and send out this very like deep information. And then the Jupiter and Aquarius, lots and lots of people watch and respond, and you do it ultimately for the betterment of all Aquarius.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I see you like, yeah, putting together these kinds of events, also not just for yourself, but for the people that are in your community, like the other practitioners.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm part of that tapestry, and I'm actually working now. I'm doing certain training. Of course I am. I was doing it before I got on here, and I'll do some after, of me learning how I just sort of wing it online, but it's me getting proper training. Like it's this academy that teaches you how to work online, how to put things together, because I just sort of make things and throw it out and see what happens. But I want to learn, because ultimately I don't mind putting the work in if I feel I'm going to be able to help or reach more people that might just need a bit of hope or
Uh-huh.
inspiration.
I see. There I'm feeling the ninth again, right? It's another education constantly. And so they help you understand like what to post and where to post and how to deal
Conferences,
with all the
emails, what times of the day, how to look at your metrics, how to understand your metrics, all that stuff that I just don't do. It's like, how are you going to do this properly? Treat it with respect.
Yeah. What I'm feeling pretty strongly therefore is the transit of Pluto in Aquarius that is
Yeah.
squaring your Sun Pluto at the moment and conjoining your Jupiter. That transit's going to be for a while, but that you're
Mhm.
clearly gearing up for something as Pluto approaches Jupiter.
Yeah.
Right? Because if it's about how to work online and how to interact with all the people and read the metrics and just understand like the library of information you're putting out, how everyone interacts with it, all of that is Aquarius. Right? So that
Yeah.
you're going through that education just now, the Pluto transit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've never taken it seriously until just maybe the past month, 2, 3 weeks.
Okay. And what's the idea with that? Is it to like have more of an impact, reach more people?
Yeah. Yeah. And there is, and I can't actually speak about it. There is something coming up. There's a potential coming up this year. Again, none of these things I sought out. See, with this training, a friend said to me, do you fancy coming to this event in Dublin? It's free. We'll go down. You call it Rethink Academy. I hadn't a clue. I just went along for the ride. And they're like, we are going to take you through this training on how to get yourself online and be more seen and heard. Like, I just went along for the ride, and then I seen the value and I was like, right, okay. But there's something else that I can't speak about because it would jeopardize it, where there is the potential for me to be seen and heard by the masses. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very strong potential because they contacted me. I'm just like just doing my thing, and they contacted me, and I mean potentially for millions of people. So I can't say anything yet. But again, it's like this outside influence coming to me. I'm just doing my life.
Is there more information about that coming in a month?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want to point out something very different then, because for me, this is about Jupiter and Leo, right? Because think about it, you even gave the timeline. It was just recent that you went. It was just not more than a month that you started to take this more seriously,
Yeah.
right? And what you keep repeating is an opportunity for you to be seen and heard, Leo, more than ever before, right? There you can also see like Jupiter's opposition to Pluto while
Yeah.
you're having your Pluto opposition in Aquarius, right? So first, learning how to be seen more online, Jupiter and Leo. But second, there's an opportunity potentially coming where you can be seen by lots and lots of people more than ever before. Right. And I asked about a month from now because that's when the sun will conjoin Jupiter and
Well,
oppose your
that's
Jupiter.
well, you see, because there's stages. There's 4 stages. I'm 2 stages in. There'll be another stage, and then ultimately the thing. So it's over the summer at some point.
Ah,
It's all very cloak and daggers. You know what I mean?
perfect. Okay.
Mm.
Well, it looks pretty good in your chart. But
I'm
okay.
thinking Jupiter and Leo. I was like, bring it on. And the thing is, because I have not been seeking this. It's finding me. So I'm not going to say no. I'm like, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, what's more important is not just that Jupiter is in Leo, but that he makes a T square with your natal Jupiter and your natal Sun Pluto. Right? So I guess this would also be, it would definitely be connected to the work you're doing so far. Right? All the excavation that you've done personally, and then you just bring it to a bigger audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Is it that way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So therefore, I see like the Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo coming together with your Sun, Pluto at the top, right? In the midheaven there also. It feels very hopeful. What you're describing seems very right for the transits.
Mm. It feels good, whether it moves forward or not. I kind of, what way would I put it? I'm, I'm just okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
it would be great, and if not, something else will be great. And very, it just feels good. I don't know what other way to describe it. It just feels good.
brilliant.
Mm.
Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling especially this square between Scorpio and Aquarius that you have because the work that you do is so vulnerable and sensitive and deep. And it's like something you can't really advertise because you can only understand it once you're there, right? But then you do that in like collectives with groups, going to all kinds of events that are like for healing and
Mm.
restoration, right? Does that make sense, the two together?
It does. And a thing I would say about this opportunity is, aside from the woo woo, right? I understand the concepts and the subjects we're talking about are quite esoteric. I am also grounded and stable. And for me, how I could represent this, I know I could break this down to a very palatable, grounded, steady state of mind way. You can't tell me I'm loopy. You can't tell me I'm away in the stars with pink hair and oh, it's everything's magic. I'm like, no, let me explain this. For me to get a chance to represent not just myself, other psychics, mediums, intuitive workers, healers, that we're not just cuckoo. This would be a chance for me, and it's serious to
Um,
me. It's very serious. If I can explain this, I'm not against other people's religions or any of that, but I could explain to you how astrology is part of what you've believed in your religion, and I can have a very grounded. You can't trigger me. I'll have that poker face, but for me to have the chance to explain this to a wider audience, it feels very sacred to me. because I feel like people laugh at people like me and Jenna, but you can't laugh at me because I have a good steady argument for you if you're willing to listen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel the ninth house in that. The Sun Pluto in the ninth, the challenger who doesn't mind yeah, having those intense conversations.
I'll go toe to toe in a harmonious way. I'll never disrespect you, and I expect respect
Yeah,
back.
comes Venus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
harmonious. Yeah, that's why you can't be mad at me because I'll give you an argument with a smile, and we'll see what you've got back. And then you're gonna look silly if you're popping off. That's me
Okay.
holding my own personal power, and that's you showing how you haven't done the work. That's how I view it. Yeah,
Okay, very good.
interesting.
Let's pause here. Yeah, that was very Pluto. Everything that you talked about was indeed Pluto at the
Yeah.
center.
You see, I knew I couldn't leave him out when I was looking at them all. Who do I want to pick? It's got to be Pluto. Pluto has been a wrecking ball, but I see the benefit now.
You know, I'm actually seeing it now that I like see you visually as well. Everyone has a different kind of appearance. Yours, even what you're wearing at the moment, is kind of like deep sea, sort of like underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, just more mystic, less like, "Ooh," you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no offense to anybody with pink hair and unicorns and tie-dye clothes. No, you're going to get classy from me, and you can't downgrade me. No way. It's not happening.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording here then.
Yeah.
So, Ashley and I are signing out with Pluto in the ninth house, Scorpio. All right.